My name is Pritymoy Ganguly. I am the manager of business development in Intelligent Consulting Engineers. We are a firm specializing in both engineering and BIM designing capabilities. We have offices globally of almost 5 continents now. We are in UK, we are in Estonia, we are in Finland, we are in US, we are also in Singapore. We also have a tie-up with another person in Canada, and we are almost in several segments that BIM is including BIM precasts, casting, C2, steel, and rebar. This is talking, so I'll just take a 2-3 minutes to talk about our company first, and then I'll just go dive in with the topic that I have. So, talking about our company, we've been there in the market since 2015. Currently, we have more than 100 people strength, devoted into several departments, including architects, engineers, uh, into MEP engineering segment, structural segment, civil engineering segment. Then we also have a specialized team in VR, AR, programming, as far as Grasshopper and Rhino is concerned. We've been almost working with a lot of clients, including architects, engineers all over the globe. That has enabled us to acquire a lot of different experiences, and of course, some of our projects that we are working with in Middle East and USA right now, including metaverse capabilities. So I'll come to that. I'll talk about it. So this is talking from the point of view of the service spectrums that we have from steel detailing, designing, BIM, rebar, and precast segment. Okay. So yeah, now jumping into the topic. So I will start by describing what metaverse is, and then we'll go into the depth of how it is being correlated with BIM, and what are the advantages that we can get if these two service segments or these two worlds can get together, and from there, what are the advantages that an architect or engineer or an owner or a business developer or a designing firm that they can get out of it. So let me start by explaining the word metaverse. So I think you guys have heard about it quite a lot in the past couple of months. It's been originally, been introduced with two words. One of them is starting with meta. It's a Greek word, and its meaning is after or beyond. And the second word is universe. So it's a combination of these two words. So basically, metaverse means whatever the things that is lie beyond our universe. So the capabilities or the unseen facts that we can able to achieve if we go outside of the boundaries of our visible universe that we have. Basically, if I have to tell you in a very layman's language, so essentially, it's a network that comprises of different 3D elements through which we could interact both socially and virtually with our counterparts that is there. Just to give you an example, that I am currently talking to you about, about this topic right now, sitting in a place in India, but you're observing it from anywhere, in the world that you're sitting right now. So this is the whole logic. But right now you're seeing me through a 2D version, right? I'm talking to you through a screen. But in metaverse, you will actually be able to visualize me in a 3D avatar that I will be having for me. So that's what exactly the essence of metaverse, in a very crude or in a very layman's understanding. It's basically, I would say, a hypothetical iteration of internet. The way that we are right now seeing the internet or visualizing the internet or using or taking out the needs from internet, it is going to change in the upcoming years. And it is going to change drastically, and it will affect the way that we are currently working, the way that we eventually will be working. So that's what exactly I'm trying to bring all of your notice right now, because I think this is becoming one of the very hot topic that is there in the market, and it's almost going to be predicted as a $13 trillion market by 2030, which is the current. If I have to just compare about the size of this market with the current understanding that you have, I would say it's almost similar to the current GDP of China. that we have. So this is the potential that metaverse has, and it is estimated that by 2030, the overall user database that metaverse will have, it will cross almost 5 billion, which is near about the total population of the entire Europe, if I have to sum it up. So this is the overall size and valuation of this new technology that we are about to explore. This is the next frontier that we have. So if I have to give you very justfully understanding that what exactly it is and how you will perceive it in the upcoming future, but let me focus the very fundamental part of it, which is the money, the financial part of it, and then I will eventually go into the technical details about it. So just the way that you are buying lands in the real world, people are also buying lands, real estate in metaverse. And you will be amazed to know that the amount or the value of the metaverse land, it has risen from 400% to 500% in the last month. Okay. Already major cities in the world, they are trying to get into metaverse. They're trying to build themselves in the metaverse. Santa Monica in California from US is one of the first cities who have embraced this technology, and they are right now doing a wonderful work as far as the metaverse integration is concerned. Not only Santa Monica, but Seoul from South Korea, then Shanghai in China. They have also started doing their fundamental analysis and research work as far as the integration of metaverse is concerned. Even the Shanghai Municipal Corporation from China, they have already implemented a 5-year plan of research and development, the way that they would like to visualize metaverse, or the way that they would like to form an economical environment over there, through which they will be doing their financial activities, social activities, they will be doing their work activities, construction. It can be both in virtual, or it can be helpful for their construction parts, real estate parts. So they're trying to develop it, they're trying to analyze and research about it. That's the ultimate motive that they have. And I'm not joking you guys about it, because if I have to give you a couple of recent facts, I am sure that you all have seen about it recently. Microsoft, one of the global tech giants, they have acquired Activision Blizzard as a platform, where they are willing to develop a metaverse universe over there, worth of 70 billion. And the persons or the people who are not familiar with this particular company, Activision, I'm sure that some of you may have played Call of Duty. So Activision is the platform or the company who has developed that Call of Duty game, which is very popular amongst our junior members in the society. Many tournaments happens about it throughout the globe. The most or the major step that has been taken as far as the tech giants are concerned across the globe, I would say Meta, which is formerly known as Facebook, they have actually changed their name, their parent company name, from Facebook to Meta, in order to boost up their research, their thinking in the metaverse. So what Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg is trying to do here is he is actually planning to have these type of interactions, or the overall social experience that we are getting from Facebook in a 3D environment through metaverse. This is the ultimate goal that he would like to achieve. Google is also investing into it. NVIDIA, which is one of the major producers of graphics processing units, they are also investing into it. Unity, which is also a major developer towards virtual renderings, augmented realities, so they are also investing heavily into metaverse. So this is a very real fact. This is not something coming out of science fiction. This is actually happening, and this is happening right now. And if you are not into it, the train is leaving from the Dublin Euston station right now, and you should get on it as quickly as possible. Now, coming to the BIM connection. So BIM, if I talk about, which is a short form of building information modeling, essentially, if I talk from the point of view of how BIM has been visualized so far, or how BIM is acting so far, I would say BIM was already there in metaverse. The main essence of metaverse is you are not visualizing things through a 2D output point, though you're designing some things in 3D environment. Take an example of a building that you're designing through your computer systems, through Revit or through other Autodesk platforms, or through Tekla, or anything, ArchiCAD, Bentley, any you can take any software. The point is you are designing it in a 3D environment, but you are visualizing it through a 2D output. But what happens if you visualize and do your work in a 3D environment itself, where you can be present, where you can visualize things in a 3D part with a 3D environment built in? Maybe you can wear a Google, and through that you can visualize it, or there might be some other tools available which Google is right now developing. So those are things which is currently being developed, which is currently, some of them are also being available in the market, through which you could actually stay into that situation, into that 3D environment. You can visualize, you can model, you can design, you can do whatever you want. It's basically, it will give you the observation or the feeling that you're present in that moment, or you're not designing it through your laptop screen. That's the main essence of of metaverse. And I would say BIM is already there into that system. We are already doing it. We're already designing things in 3D. What we now need is, in order to do it more carefully, do it more precisely, and do it more correctively, if there is a environment, or there is a medium through which we can actually be able to present there, through which we could design it, that's what the metaverse connection brings in with BIM. That's exactly what is going to happen in the future as well. Right now, the way the architects, the engineers, they are basically acting as as a designing firm. They're designing it. But moving ahead, I don't think the way that we are acting as an architect or engineer, it will be acted in the same way. In the upcoming future, the architects and the engineer, they will basically act as a content creator of this metaverse, because the metaverse is a universe that you are building, which is virtually present, which is very real, but you can't see it with your naked eye. It's not a virus. It's something which is present virtually and digitally. That's what metaverse is, and that's what architect and engineer is going to contribute most towards it, because they have the knowledge, they have the understanding, they have the design criteria in their mind, and that is something which is going to be required for it. And without them, it's not going to happen. So trust me, the architect and the engineers, they will become the content creator of the metaverse. And the way that they are doing it, the way that they're designing it through their computer systems, that will not be happen. Because if you think from the perspective of a universe, it's the sheer mass of it. So there's no limitation of it. Our universe doesn't have any limitation. Similarly, a virtual universe that we will be developing, it will not be having any limitations. So the sheer size of it will not allow you to do mundane work. So you need to be precise. You need to be you need to think from an algorithmic point of view rather than a manual point of view. You need to think from a programming point of view. So the way that I see metaverse in the upcoming future, including BIM, is the computational design that we are doing right now. The parametric family creations that we are doing. Just an example as far as parametric designing is concerned. So we are preparing a code, we are preparing programs through which we would be developing libraries which can be parametric. That means it can be changed based on the real-time information, based on customized information. That is what is going to be needed, but in a much larger scale. Here I'm talking not for a small type of chair or table, or a type of joint. Here I'm talking about a much larger scale. Compare it with a 42-story building. Compare it with a large stadium having occupancy standard of more than 1 million people who can sit, watch the game of cricket, or they can attend to a live concert. That is the size of it. If you would like to develop it quickly, and this is not something which will happen if you compare it with the real world timeline. This will happen fairly quickly. In order to do it, you will need to have help from the algorithmic point of view, from the AI point of view. That is going to be very important, and that is going to take precedence in the upcoming future. Another thing which will become very popular will be the procedural content generation. Here, what you will do is you will be preparing a sort of program in your AI through Grasshopper or Rhino. They are already exploring that options, and through that you will be able to develop large-scale construction with a click of your button. So that's what you are going to do. That's what the procedural content generation is going to propose to you. That's what the advantage of it. Let's take an example of an entire city. Let's take an example of the city of Dublin right now. And if you consider in the upcoming future the point of how the global temperature is rising, so that what effect that it will have in the city of Dublin. And if I would have to be very precise, and if I would have to understand exact effect of it, how the sea level will rise, how the water level will rise, what is the rain or atmospheric condition it will be eventually. I need to have a model prepared with me. I need to understand in what parts of the city will be badly affected, what parts of the city will be least affected. I need to plan it out. I need to do necessary actions and plans for the people in the city so that I can save them. I can have necessary arrangements for them. That's something can be done in metaverse. You can run a hypothetical situation using a procedural content generation algorithm through which an entire city will be developed with a click of your with a click of your mouse, and from there you can run any scenario that you think that is upcoming in the future, and you can get real-time data. I'll talk in detail more about that. That's what we call a digital twin. Some people may have understanding that a digital twin can only be considered for a small scale, like for a bridge or for a factory or for an airport, but it's not that. The sheer advantage and the sheer potential of digital twin, if you club it with metaverse, it has no limits. Truly, it has no limits. It can give you a very good understanding, real-time informations through AI defined programs, through different interfaces that you could face it. It has a lot of potential in the upcoming future. That's where BIM comes in. BIM will help you develop all these models, prepare all these algorithms, prepare all these calculations. This is already here in BIM. We are already doing it, but in a small scale. If we would like to do it in a large scale, if we would like to do for an entire city, that's what metaverse is going to come in, because at that time the data will be shared not with one or two people. It will be shared with the entire community. It will be shared with the entire world, and where everybody will be coming in and providing their data. We are talking about a large scale conversion of a closed loop system to a free for all system where everybody is coming in, providing their information, taking their points out of it. This is what is going to happen for the entire community in the upcoming future. And here, what comes as a hot topic, that is AI. The time has long passed from the cinemas or movies of like Terminator or some other movies which give you the idea that AI is a very evil term. It's not. It's actually something which is going to help you build mankind better in the upcoming future. The more and the quicker we will be able to understand that, it will be better for us. It is going to be a boon. It is not going to be some evil effort that we are doing. So keeping that in mind, I will be going into, so the way that I'm thinking metaverse is going to affect, I have divided into three different terms. Now, one of them, as I was talking to all of you previously, digital twin, which is basically building a realistic environment. So but before I go and jump in more detail about it, let me give you a bit more explanation of what digital twin is. So digital twin is something which I would say a virtual representation of any module, where a module can be any system or any situation or any construction item or any real estate. It can be anything. So the basic definition of a module is where you can prepare a virtual representation of a real object that is present in the market in the world today. It can be a bridge, it can be a factory, it can be a stadium, it can be a hospital, it can be a ship, it can be anything. Literally, it can be anything. The advantage, then, why we are actually trying to build a digital twin. Let me explain it to you by giving you an example. I think we all have heard about the brand that of Budweiser, right? Budweiser is a drink that we may have used sometime in our leisure times, enjoying with our friends in a particular event. So this is one of our, I would say, medium through which we develop our social skills. So the company or the parent company who prepares the Budweiser, the Anheuser-Busch InBev, it's a company that based in Europe. So That company, they have acquired. So they are one of the pioneers who acquired digital twin technology into their system a long time ago. And Microsoft was one of the companies who have actually helped them in grow their technology. So Microsoft as a company, they have developed a tool known as Azure, and they have developed different tools on top of that to help you integrate your current conditions in a digital twin environment. So what Anheuser-Busch InBev did is they prepared their entire facility, their entire plant, with the all communications, the transportations, the output and input, everything they have prepared in a 3D environment. They prepared the overall model of their existing plant. Then they have entered their past 50 years data into that system. What happened from day wise, or very specific way, what happened hourly in any particular day as old as 50 years back. They have entered that data into that 3D model. And then they utilize the Azure AI software that is being developed by Microsoft. That AI software, the main function of that software is to analyze all the data that they have processed through that, they want to process through that AI software. They have inserted into that system. So that AI has significantly analyzed all that information it has got from that Anheuser-Busch InBev, and then it started to predict their future. That's the advantage of digital twin. That's what you can achieve. You can exactly have the idea in the upcoming future at a certain period of time what amount of services that you are going to prepare for your customers. What is your main focus area with a 99% accuracy? That's the advantage. Now let's move on from Anheuser-Busch InBev, and let's talk about a plasma protein plant based in US. They have also acquired this digital twin technology because they want to monitor and categorize their needs. They want to understand what exactly that the target audience would be, what is the exact consumption that would be there, what is the market profit that they're going to share eventually in the upcoming future. That is what they would like to understand. They would like to do a very precise calculation. They would like to do in a way, they would like to prepare their calculation in a way so that they can actually understand what is going to happen, how their profit will be generated in the upcoming future. That's the advantage that digital twin gives you. And the way metaverse is going to come in, you would require, so you can understand that the sheer capacity or the size of this data is huge. You need a space in the cloud, in a digital cloud, to store all these informations. This is something that only can be catered with a metaverse arrangement. Otherwise, it is not possible. You need to do plannings accordingly. You need to predict your futures accordingly. This is the advantage the digital twin brings you. This is how BIM comes in and helps you preparing that model using that where the AI will eventually come in and then can actually predict your future. This is what the digital twin is all about. The other part that I think would be also interesting is building unrealistic environment. I personally call it BUN. This is basically creating an environment which is not present right there in real world. In real world, we have the disadvantages of gravity, other environmental constraints that we have. I think being an architect or an engineer, we all faced this issue previously, that a design or a concept that we have in our mind, which we simply can't develop it because of the constraints, environmental constraints that we have, the coding constraints that we have. In the metaverse, you won't be having that constraint. You will, the limit is only your imagination. That is going to be your limit. There's not going to be any limit for the legal or the code analysis or the gravity. Nothing will come into effect. Whatever you could imagine in metaverse can be present there. And these are certain examples. Let me give you another example. There's a huge pop singer based in US who recently did his entire show, a concert in metaverse. In a general time where roughly 100,000 to 200,000 people generally gets, he generally been able to get to them through his concerts. In metaverse, he has been able to cater to almost 30 million people at a single time, almost doubling his revenue quite fast. He almost he's developed his revenue by more than 5 times through that event. And then eventually other pop singers, they're also coming into that picture. Currently, I have told you about Facebook at the initial time of my, starting of this session. Facebook have a community number of more than, I think, 20 billion right now. Think from the point of view of where it could take if metaverse comes in. It will be one of the largest country in the face of earth, which is not present in the real world, but present in the virtual world. That's the potential of it. Think about the potential marketing opportunity that you can get. Think about the potential needs that those people that will have. It will be an entirely different universe with its own laws, its own financial systems that we are talking about right now. That's also a possibility that we are right now seeing in metaverse. People are already started earning from it. The third part, which I would say something in between, something which I would say not fully in the unrealistic world, but not also fully in the realistic world, something in between. If I have to give you an example, I would say the city of Santa Monica in California, which, as a first city in the world, they have integrated metaverse. They have integrated it through augmented reality. And so what they exactly is trying to do here is, if you wear a glass of a VR glass while entering or moving around the city, or if you just try to use your phone and put on your camera through an app that they have developed, you could see a lot of different augmented reality, presence of augmented reality that is there. I think most of you are sometime in your career have heard about a game known as Pokemon Go. The concept is very similar to that. So you could turn on your camera, you could face it towards any restaurant that you're seeing, and there are a lot of games or a lot of interactions that are happening. You could actually collect points from there, and then you could redeem those points in real time with those restaurants or in other restaurants. They actually have thought in a way that they could develop a separate economic systems from there. They could engage people into their community. That's the advantage. That's the way Santa Monica is acting. And they have also developed an overall national museum system in metaverse, which you can just turn on your phone camera and you can see everything. You can just enter into a building, you turn on your camera, and you can see what is going on around there. What are the things that is there? You can even meet with a dinosaur. I hope that you don't meet with a raptor over there, but you can definitely see a T-Rex. Over there, defining it, because they thought that initially. So there are two types of memories that we have. One is the reading memory, that we can read and we can hear. Another one is we can visualize. And the second, the visualized memory, is something which stays with us for a longer period of time. They are currently investing more on that. They would like to develop those visual memories in order to teach our kids, in order to teach our fellow members or the research scholars who are there using these technologies that they're going to offer them. So this is the help that something in a combination of augmented reality, the realistic systems, with some information about the unrealistic advantages that we have. This is the overall combination that they are right now into. So these are talking some points about the image credits that I've used, and this is coming to the end of my presentation over here. I think I have been able to give you a sort of brief about what I initially thought about, and I would love to hear any questions that you may have. Again, thank you all for joining in. Yeah, now I'm open for questions.